I've heard a lot from old people that the culture is encoded in the language. Unless you speak the language, you can't understand the culture. But I've also spent my adult life saying, oh yeah? Explain to me what you can't explain to me. Which I mean, prove it to me. Prove it to me that there's some thought held within the language that you cannot express in English. And I would challenge you to say it may be because of the lack of your English comprehension skills, and second, your poor understanding of that cultural thing. Because if you understand something, it has the power to reveal itself. Remember what I said about the earth being the teacher, holder of knowledge? Mm-hmm. The earth doesn't test you. If you don't speak Mohawk, you can't walk on me. Sorry. So it reveals its knowledge to you, and I really believe that this is the old indigenous pattern, that people spend their life contemplating meaning, experience and see the world, reflect on that, absorb that experiential energy, and then the old fire gets lit. And then you say, oh, now I understand what they mean. And it's like, I also believe in implanted thought, that the Creator, the forces of the world, push into us knowledge. That just like our thumbprint, it's encoded with certain DNA, but it's also, Daniel, this is what I want you to understand. Or you'll come to an understanding, and then you meet me and say, Rick, this is what I understand about that. And I'll say, you know, I wasn't thinking about it that way, but now that you mentioned it, I'll think about it some more. So knowledge then is this interaction with this stuff. It isn't, go to the dictionary, you know, here's indigenous knowledge about this, this, and this, consumable bits of information, because ultimately what this is about is how we're going to conduct ourselves based upon what we think we know. How we're going to treat each other, how we're going to interact, what are we going to do with our day. So that way I think this experiential knowledge is true. If you don't experience the dance as an active participant, you can't comprehend the dance, and then you can't comprehend the dance unless you get up and dance. So as much as I read volumes about our ceremonies, what was always missing in the description was the active and profound belief that this is true. And once you believe that, you also take some things on faith. You absorb ideas without having to analyze them, but you feel so deeply connected to that event, knowing that ancestors have been doing this for countless generations, that you express yourself is the best way that you can. So I do believe, though, that the language has these cultural metaphors and these patterns, but I also believe those are easily comprehensible upon some serious contemplation of their meaning. So looking at the old stories, looking at their history, looking at the speeches of our ancestors, I believe we can find a way to decode the cultural context, even in English. I'm not sure about French, because I'm not very fluent in it, but at least English.